Hello, everybody. This is Vanati. I'm here in conversation with Nivedita Indrajit, founder of Taurus Source. That's a very simple definition and introduction to a very amazing and multi talented person. So I'm really honored and privileged to be interviewing her. She has been doing a series of interviews on YouTube. It's under Taurus Source Presence in Conversation with. So then there was this question, who's going to bell the cat? Who's going to interview the interviewer? And I guess that's me. So I'm really honored, and it's a great privilege to interview Nivedita and bring her story out to the world. So thanks, Nivedita, for this opportunity. And what we have, who all we have here is Nivedita and her equally amazing or maybe more amazing son, Vidur. Hey, Vidur, say hi to everybody. So he is the maybe the real star. We will just find out as we go through the interview.
Yeah.
So Nivi, I call you Nivi. Nivi is one of the names I use for her. Others are called Chelly because she is like my soul sister. So Nivi, I wanted to start from this current endeavor of yours, this interviewing and bringing stories out to the world. How did you stumble upon it, and how did that begin?
I've always been a writer and a storyteller. I mean, as a child, I would tell stories to my sisters. They would finish reading all the books, and at that point of time, mom and dad were not financially well. So we would have a limited amount of books. And once the books are done, they would get bored, and I would babysit them. So they would ask for stories, and I would look at something and start creating, just even if it is a greeting card or a picture, I would start creating an entire novel. So I would narrate the stories. So later on, I started writing. So I love people, and in between, I think I had a writer's block, as you call, or whatever. I mean, I didn't judge it as something. I just said, okay, that phase is over. What next? And for a long time, I've been contemplating that I love movies and I love people, I love stories, I love connecting a lot of people. So I said, okay, if I were to be there, I would connect to people and say, okay, this person does this and you need this. And so you can meet each other. I said, why not just create a series where I give those details to people with their story, with the person talking about their life and their experiences? What if it changes someone's life? So that's how it all started. Inspiration. We don't have to look for a Mother Teresa or Gandhi or, somebody else for a story. We can look at our neighbor and have a story there. And everybody is going through and being so resilient that we forget to acknowledge what we call as common in a common man's life. But there is only a thin line between ordinary and extraordinary. That is your willingness to take that 2 steps forward and go boom, boom.
Yes.
And
Yeah, no,
it is there with everyone.
yeah, I know, totally agree. I think also in this COVID situation, there's also a lot of focus on commonplace heroes, not heroes in like real, like ordinary people doing ordinary things, but in a very extraordinary way, which is giving a lot of inspiration to people. So, yeah, I think that resonates with me in this current situation. But how did you you just started it out on a whim? Did you think it'll grow
It was
into
just
such
a
a
it was just a 10-second incremental choice. It was like, oh, I think I can do this. And okay, what would it take? And I asked someone and they agreed, and it started like that.
Yeah, and I was amazed the number of interviews you've done. Like you've done so many, and you know so many interesting people. Did that ever amaze you? Like, oh my God, I know so many fabulous people.
I think I've always had a lot of interesting people, but because I understand their stories, I love with the curiosity of going and finding out, okay, what else do you do? What else do you do? I like putting my fingers into everything. I like messing it up in that sense. Although I like a clean environment and OCD about that, but there is this sense of there is a sense of uh, you know that there are people, and I love hanging out with friends. People say that, oh, or my friends used to say, whoever, once you're married you'll change. I'm like, no, I mean, I might change in the sense I might include another person in my life, but it's not going to be like, oh, I'm now married and that person is going to be the sole center of my life. Yeah, I mean, I do care about them enough, but I also care about my friends. I like meeting my friends. Like we hang out girls day or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So I like socializing. I like cooking food. I like meeting people. And if you let me, I will meet a lot of people and listen to all their stories.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, I remember we've not been friends for a very long time. Like, if you look at the number of years, which has been for maybe 3, 4 years or less than that, but the intensity or how much I have gained in that or how much fun I've had in those was like more than the years could measure. And I remember, like, it was almost like stalking you. Like, it was like asking you out on a date or something. I found out about you. And I think the first thing was a very cheesy line. You look like my friend. What's your name? What do you do? And I think we both then hit upon that. You said you do Taurus shows, and I asked you, are you a Tauri? And I'm like, I'm like, so I remember there was always this very beautiful vibe that used to come out from you, like a very warm and friendly vibe. And another amazing thing is, like you say, you love people. Because of you, I have met so many fabulous people, and I went on to have independent my own friendships with them. So yeah, I think this connecting with people is an amazing quality of yours. Do you want to talk about that one like interesting experiment or episode we did, like where you said if you smile out to the world, the world will smile back to you. And I remember we used to go out with you and you would smile at everybody, and I would sometimes feel, oh my god, what is she doing? Why is she smiling? But you got some amazing reactions and connections, right? Do you want to
I
talk
read
about
it somewhere that if you wave at people and smile at them and just have that from inside, you smile and you wave at them. If someone is contemplating suicide, they will not contemplate it. They will change their mind because suddenly they have this energy flowing towards them, which will just jar their original intent, and it will take them and open up spaces for them. And apparently, there's a guy who started this. And I don't remember his name to acknowledge him. And he did it for a long time. I think I should go back on YouTube and check who it is. And I said, okay, this is such a beautiful thing because I lost my cousin to suicide. Although it is still not solved or whatever back then, it was considered a suicide back then. And there was a point of time when I contemplated suicidal ideas because of postpartum depression or the medication that was given at that time, which was so I was so against when I was breastfeeding and stuff like that. So I said, okay, somebody has to live. There has to be some thin thread of something. So waving and smiling at someone doesn't cost you anything. I mean, people think that if you have money, you can change somebody's life, or if you have like a legacy, you can change. But I don't think that is the only thing. We can just by being ourselves and being the presence, I think we can just make a difference. And we don't have to have a vested outcome that, okay, if I do this, I would want to see how this person's life changes. It changes. You have to just trust that it changes. So at one point of time, Sony, my cousin, you know her, right? So we walked around from another friend's house, Shobha, you also know her. We were walking from her house to Sony's house, and we were smiling and giggling. And the entire stretch, and walking on the road, we met a lot of people. And some people even stopped and asked us, why are you doing this? And we actually told them. And they're like, oh, we will also do this. So for me, it is like anything can be paid forward, anything that you can just, even you don't have to remember my name for doing it. But, if you can just continue the act of it, I think that is the future we can provide to our children, grandchildren, or the future of the world. For me, it's always been, what does the future behold? As a child also, it's always been, what does the future behold? So
No, I totally, and because we both did it. I don't know whether you remember, we went for a movie and for lunch, for dinner, and you kept doing it. And I was like, oh my God, what is she doing in the lift, in the parking, while ordering food? And then I realized, like, after like me being whatever the logical, not so evolved person, I was like, but I didn't interfere or interrupt. I was like always one step behind. I am not with this girl. But then I remember like this one conversation we had, and you just looked at one person and said, your dress is very nice, and she was so happy, and you both had a conversation. She had a son, and slowly you guys spoke, and there was a connection. It was like hardly a minute conversation in the lift, and I remember you guys spoke about books and you suggested some books for her, and she was like, yeah, very wow, great idea. So then I realized, like, okay, this is, you do it with the full energy, you don't know what's going to happen, like, then I was more participative with
I
you.
think it's more common in the West. Well, like when you meet people in the lift, I think they greet each other, so that's pretty normal in their culture.
Yep,
I
yep.
think in India, people don't. I mean, people. It's a very contradictory thing in India that people are there and they interfere in stuff that is not required and don't actually do something where it's required.
Yeah,
As a culture, we don't really go and do that.
yeah,
Maybe there are, but I haven't seen the hugging quite a bit,
yeah.
at least in South Indian context.
But yeah, but it was for me also a very uplifting experience and connecting with people. And then, like this small conversation with people you never ever are gonna meet again, like the cab driver, the
We ate a
person.
moong
Yeah.
dal sweet that day, which we didn't like.
Yeah. We didn't like, and we spoke about that. It was I remember it was a fabulous thing, like, so I don't smile. I do, what I take away for me was, now I am very much open to having small conversation with people I really don't, I will never meet, like, like in a cab, like, I might just, if I feel like it, ask, how was your day, like, and he feels or she feels.
Actually, the act of doing it is actually receiving yourself for who you are first. I think that is why we don't do it. Because if we do it, then, and if we judge it as weird, and if we judge it before somebody else judges us,
Yeah.
like we stop ourselves from doing things because we think other people will judge us for it, and we are not ready to receive the judgment. So if you're actually able to just cross over and say, you know what, I'm willing to be judged brilliantly. Like, you can judge me all you want, and I'll say, thank you for this gift. That's when we actually can be ourselves as much as we can. Otherwise, we cut off our own parts, and then we wonder, oh, what happened to this part of me? I lost myself. And then we have a tendency to blame other people for that situation instead of actually looking in and saying, okay, why didn't I stop doing this?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think it's a very, very, very good, like, start, like a backdrop for the things you have done. But I think this is like a driving force, because when I look at you, I always find she's so brave. She'll think of an idea and she will go forward and with full energy. So, like you said in earlier, like, you like doing multiple things. So, apart from all these small initiatives, you have your own website, you're a therapist, you write, you're into a lot of energy, like work. And apart from that, you're a fabulous painter. Like, I'm standing in front of one of the paintings you gifted me. So, how did all this start? Like, where did it all begin for you, branching out into things like this?
I should actually, although I never liked it very much when I was a kid. I think circumstances of my mother had an important role to play in who I became. Like at the age of 3 or 4, she sent me out to find a doctor, which was 1 or 2 kilometers away, and I had no clue how to find the doctor's house. And the thing that she told me is, don't come back home without bringing the doctor. So I think pushed into that terrain of survival, and observation became the natural friend. So that is how it all began. If I have to actually acknowledge her contribution in this whole thing, you know. So
Great. I mean, on today being Mother's Day, so yep, we
yeah,
can right day to acknowledge in whatever way, however we may feel, but our
it's
loved
always been
ones.
choice for 35 years or something. I was taught that you have to look at other people, they have to be happy, everybody has to be happy, and then you're allowed to be happy. And I used to go to Shamak Dawar's classes, summer funk, winter funk, every class that they would. And I met this person in the class. And one day he said, there is a workshop happening. It's just a demo workshop. I think you will find it good to attend it. So 2011, somewhere in February, March, I attended that workshop. That is by Sujata Pote, Amiye. So, and in that, we did some exercises where I suddenly realized, oh, I have a choice. I was like, oh, I have a choice too. It's like not like everybody else has a choice. It's like I also have a choice, and I have been making choices, but I've not been really understanding those choices. Choosing for others and doing something for others is also a choice. Not choosing for yourself is also a choice. So that was when I was like, no, I think I have to somehow choose for me. At that point of time, maybe 9 years ago, if I have to say, okay, what do I really want? I'm like, okay, I have to do something here for me where I do not talk to anybody. So I actually took my dog and took a house and said bye bye to my family. And I said, please don't call me. I need to figure myself out. I need to figure who I am, what is it that I'm doing in this world. And so many years are gone and I have no clue. If I have to ask myself, what do I have to do? I have no idea. So I took and I lay down in the bed looking out of the window for many days, and like with the dog cuddling. I'm like, okay, what is it? What if I had to choose something? What will I choose? What will I choose? And by then I was doing art. I was already doing art. I was doing exhibitions. I had worked for 10 years in the corporate world, and I said, okay, I would like to do something that will make a difference to the world. And we raised funds for a school called New Song School. Me and another artist, we had our art exhibition, and we collected around 2.5 lakhs, I think, with selling the artworks and stuff like that. So that gave a high. It's like, oh wow, I mean, doing art and selling it and actually funding stuff which is required for the school, which is in Rejerla, which is like, this guy also left his job, a good paying job, and started the school because he was very moved with the conditions of that place. I was like, I'm here to change the world, do something. So that's how it all started. Then I started painting. Then I met my husband. And then the kid was on the way. And when the kid was on the way, they know there was no way to over the bump to sit and paint and stuff like that. So I said, okay, what do I do next? So art, I discovered, had therapy angle to it. So I started doing art therapy. Like I read a lot of books and, explored a lot of stuff. And I discovered that there was a workshop that I attended while I was doing art and traveling around the world, that there is this guy called Ellen Tallur who created a workshop called Working with the Right Side of the Brain. It is based on Betty Edwards' work. So drawing and art is something that the right brain knows how to do. It's not something that you have to really work hard at. So that combined with observation skills can actually make you really skilled at your work. I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I should just start exploring this. So I started doing that.
Just to like people like me don't know right and left. I know right, one side of the brain is logical, other side is creative.
Left brain is more logical, right brain is more art. So when you function from the right brain, it's actually controls the left side of you, and the left side of the brain controls the right side of you. It controls the opposite, but logic is from the left brain, and art and anything which is irrational is from the right brain. And if you look at subconscious memory, it is 90% subconscious memory, which means you're functioning highly from the right brain. And we try to logically address it in the left brain by having conversations either with therapists or consultants or counselors or anybody, and we try to figure things out. When we are trying to figure things out, we are doing it from a space of what we know. We are not asking what else is possible and trying to figure out, okay, is there something that I don't know that I can actually do right now? So art actually opens up all these doorways. Whatever stuff that you have never known about yourself, art can actually do. If you pick up your non-dominant hand and you start scribbling on, it doesn't have to mean anything. You start scribbling on a paper, you will suddenly have this pop of thought of in your head, and you can actually, if you take action on it, it will change your path very gently into something that you would like to really become. So then postpartum depression, fast forward so many years, I said, okay, I really need to find a therapist or a person who really genuinely will help. So then I found Shobha Nargonkar. She came to my art class. I think that was the only class that she actually went 20 kilometers away to go visit. So that's what I call angels come, right? So they come in all sorts of forms and shapes and structures, and you just have to ask, I need help. I don't care how it comes. You please send it to me. Is how I think Shobha landed in my workshop. And we worked a lot with hypnotherapy. We worked a lot with radical forgiveness and stuff like that. And I said, okay, I think I like this. I'd like to now graduate in this. So in 2014, I certified myself as a integrated clinical hypnotherapist. It took 1 year for the entire formalization to happen with the submissions of the cases and exams and all that. So it was good and fun actually studying after a long time. 99 was my post graduation. I think after that, 2013, 14, again I started, and then learning has always been happening. I'm certifying myself from then.
Yeah, so I think that that's been like a, I mean, couple of things like you shared, I think, which is a big takeaway for everybody is apart from the way you stumbled upon, like two things you said, like, choice, like I think a lot of women, at least I can speak about myself, and I think it also applies to mostly women. A lot of women since the way like we are brought up in this place we have in a society, we don't think we have a choice. Like there is no even for me, I was watching some movie and then there was a scene in the movie and that's when it hit me as a bolt. Like I have a choice too. Like I can choose, like, so I think that's one major takeaway, like that we all have choices. And the second one you mentioned, like, like angels, you got to ask. So you have a choice, you make a choice and you ask for help for the choice to, come to life or become true. And I think with this combination, like you sometimes, like not sometimes, I think things do happen and
All
you
the
meet
time.
people
If
all
we're
the time.
willing
Yeah.
to receive the magic and
Yeah.
not try to break the code and understand how magic functions, we don't have to understand how magic functions. We just have to be willing to receive the magic.
Yeah.
We have to be willing to receive that component of life, which is very magical in our space.
Yeah, I mean, I totally believe in that also. And I know it might sound irrational for somebody who's totally logical, but I always, for me also, I'm very, sometimes very logical. So I always fall back on one of the things that Steve Jobs had said, like, when you look back and you could, then the dots connect. Like when there things are happening, you don't understand why they're happening, why you do. But like when you look back, you know that all the dots have connected. So I guess everything has a purpose for it. Like, if you really make a choice and ask
Yeah,
and put it out.
because Steve Jobs, I think, learned calligraphy at one
Yeah.
point in his life, which actually is the reason why we have so many fonts today.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what even he was referring when he said, so he took this calligraphy class out of random. And then when he went on, the font and the beauty of that was one of the distinguishing feature of the whole Apple iPhone and the whole process. So like that's how I think when he spoke about connecting the dots, that's what he meant.
Yeah, like recently in October, I met with an accident, right?
Yep.
So, what I've understood is like recently with the lockdown and everything, we are doing our stuff ourselves and things like that. And I figured that I don't really have to move my shoulder up and down to do something. I can actually take away from the dance classes I took as a child. In classical dance, the upper body, when you are dancing, the upper body should not move and the lower body should move. Or even like, I don't remember Birju Maharaj, I think. There are 1,000 bells tied to your leg, but only one bell can ring. That's the amount of body control you can have with the dance form. So I said, okay, what can I do? Use that over here to wash utensils or fold clothes or something and use that. It's like everything, whether it is scientific management that I've learned in management school, which talks about perfecting a particular small act in a way that there is an ideal time and an ideal way to do it, which will save you a lot of minutes. So this all fascinates me. Is all, oh wow, okay, what can I do to use that in my life? If Newton says equal and opposite reaction, I would use it in a bus. And I'm okay, if the bus is going to swerve like this, I'm going to stand like this. So using all the thing that you're learning is just fun, it's like,
Yeah. No, yeah. See, that's also one of the things I wanted to bring about your personality is this completely
I think
multifaceted.
that is pretty normal, but apparently it is not.
No, everybody does it. So this is my like, so this is my observation about you. Like, I've always said, Nivedita, there's nothing she doesn't know. So I remember I was writing my Six Sigma exam and I called you, and you had, yeah, do this. You had tips for that. Gardening, you have like tips for that. Actually, you can even start a farm. I'm sorry, farm. Like, you have so much like your knowledge of that. And then you can also solve the Rubik's Cube, right? You can do that also, right?
Not completely. Maybe
But
one
yeah,
side or two
two
sides.
sides. So I've always been like, is there anything she cannot do, or is there anything she does not know? So it was always like, fascinates me. Like, I know anything I can ask, and you would either know, or you would know somebody who knows about it, and you'll say, okay, go talk
I
to.
feel that there are two things. One, you know. The second, you don't know. When you know, you do and share. When you don't know, you learn, know, and share.
Yeah, I think those are really, I mean, that's what I think. It's always very fascinating to
It's
see
when
like
somebody
your
asks you a
combination.
question, okay, do you know this? You'll think, okay, do I know this? Yeah. Relevant, share it.
Yeah, and that's also another amazing thing about you, Nivis. Like, you don't hesitate to share. Like, I'm not like that. So I have this. Okay, is it maybe I don't know enough to advise, or maybe I may not be the right person. But you kind of, not only do you share very openly. I've seen you start WhatsApp groups. Like, I've been part of so many WhatsApp groups, and some groups had like so many members, and we were working on one particular issue or something. So, what is the source of that, like
I
confidence
think
and
you just
energy?
get present with what's going on and just take a choice in that moment and say, okay, to do it or not to do it. So when it comes to sharing, yeah, I will never have the full knowledge of it. So you can say half knowledge is dangerous or half knowledge can save a life. First aid is half knowledge, technically. You're not a doctor. But that saves a life if you actually have that much of knowledge. You don't need to be a full fledged doctor to save someone's life. You basic paramedic and first aid, if you know that if there's an emergency, you are there to act upon it. And half knowledge is dangerous because if you don't have enough information, sometimes things may go wrong. But then you also have to get into touch with that gut feeling. Okay, if I do this right now, is it going to help or not? 10 seconds, that's it. And make a choice and move. One thing is either it'll work or it'll not work. But if it works, great. But if you stop yourself from doing something and it was going to work, then we have not contributed. And if we are doing something and something goes wrong, we learn from it. I mean, I've not stepped into something which is life threatening so far to do something like that. And wherever I think I've stepped in and said, okay, maybe this can be done or that can be done, has not really caused so much of a damage in that sense. So I've been lucky so far.
No, I think it's also not more than luck. It's also like all the combination, like intention, and you knew your belief in yourself, and that you came from a place of knowledge. Like, you're not just babbling. You have used those techniques yourself or something like that. So I think because of all the stuff, always been pretty successful. Like, I've been part of
Also,
many.
this
So
thing which is niggling 24/7, or it has been so ingrained, is that thing that you cannot come back home without a doctor, right? So there is, you either get it or you don't. So there is no second chance for it in
yeah,
that sense. You have to get it done. That has been the underlying functional mechanism. If you actually, if I actually acknowledge that, it's like, okay, it's like there's no way out. You got to do it means you got to do it. How to get it done? It's not like giving an excuse that, okay, I don't think I can do it, or shying away from that space has never been the question because it never occurs to me. It
correct.
never
Yeah, I
occurs
think.
to me that, yeah, that, I can say no, or I can say, oh, I don't know, or and I can just keep quiet. For me, once a question is asked, I'm like, even I'm curious now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I've seen that. So I like, ever since I've known you, like, at the time I met you, you were into art therapy and you were into hypnotherapy.
Hypnotherapy.
And then you went on to learn other modalities. Like, so can you talk about what drew?
I think I did Reiki in 1 year. Like Reiki helped me quite a bit. Like a lot of Reiki is taught in different ways. There is a very traditional way of learning it, and there's a very following the energy way of learning it. And I think I was lucky enough to have a teacher who understands the functions of a traditional methodology of teaching. At the same time, she has always given us knowledge about what else is possible when you're talking about Reiki. Reiki is not just one part of the energy. How do you understand consciousness from Reiki? So the Malti Rao has been my teacher, and she has been a voracious reader. If you go to her house, you'll find the whole house full of crystals, books, and she gets up in the morning, she does her cooking stuff, and the classes start at 9 until 5, 6, 7, 8 in the night. She's busy, and her children live with her, and she's like fully so involved with that kind of a work that it amazes how every choice that she makes comes out of that space of, okay, asking a question, understanding the energy, following the energy. Simple.
Yeah.
So Reiki was that way, and I've learned EFT. And I think one of these days I was asking the question in 2013, like, oh, I show me the way. I don't know how. Louise Hay released a summit in January sometime, and summit had a lot of speakers where they told their story. A 1 hour session with every author, writer that Hay House has ever published, and what is the work they do, and what are the tools that they use. And that's how I discovered like some 200 different authors in that 15 days. And I said, wow. And I recorded all of them, and I started listening to them, making notes, and then started reading their books. And that opened up a lot of world for me, is like in terms of what kind of stuff is there. As children, we used to do homeopathy and Ayurveda. So there was that seed of alternate medicine definitely there. But this kind of explored the whole gamut of what is there, what is metaphysics, or what is consciousness. I mean, if you really go into the metaphysics of it, there is a lot of fear-based thought process as well that comes in. But if you look at the consciousness aspect of it, or if you go with the space of curiosity and following the energy, then you will find a lot that you can use. So that's how, and then access consciousness happened. And maybe something else will happen tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's
I've been doing a lot more learning in the digital space because I love technology.
yeah, I mean that's like very unique thing I find about you. Like normally people who are okay, it's like maybe my my limited understanding or very basic generalization is that normally people into all these things like technically, but you code, you make websites, you do coding, and you
I
do
don't do coding, and there are pre-templates that are there
yeah.
in the WordPress and all, which can be. I mean, there's
But
a
then
lot more to
you
learn.
said you not only do websites for yourself, you do websites for others, you make content, online content. So
I like writing, and writing has changed its form, I guess, from novels to content.
yeah, no, because like I was like that's like a completely different gamut, right? You learn about it. I remember like before the lockdown, you wanted to join coding class, and you bought a laptop which will help you with those.
Oh, I searched 1 year for the laptop.
Yeah,
Never
and
satisfied with the features.
so yeah, and this is very amazing about you. Like a lot of us may have ideas. A lot of us may have at least. Okay, let me not talk about others. I may have ideas. I may have intentions, but very rarely I'll find the energy or the motivation. But with you, I've seen like you come up to some idea and you put your whole soul behind it, and the amount of hours you'll invest in it, even like all this learning you have done, or small things like you'll form groups which we plan a trip, you will do all the heavy lift, like and it was so much full of your energy, for your motivation. What drives you, like what, where do you get, what's the
I
source of
love
that?
traveling. I see. I as a child, I had
No,
romantic.
not more than that energy to go out and put your like give your more than 110%, and so much of like you, it's like you expose yourself so much, like so much of investment, emotional investment. Where do you find the strength to do it again
I
and
think
again
that
and
is more
again?
because I invest in myself. Like I enjoy going on travels. I enjoy having friends. I enjoy all the company. I would like to have this like this. So I am doing it completely for a selfish reason of myself. And now if that includes a lot of people, and if I can show my caring and kindness to them and love them the way I can, sure,
Okay.
why not?
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, because I was always be amazed like how does she find time for this, like how does she find so much energy to be so interested in so many things and make sure like people receive it, people know about it. So yeah, it's very
I
amazing.
don't know. I think somewhere I feel like right now when you're asking me this question, the sense that I'm getting is there was a lot of thing that I used to feel when mom was there as a child. I say, okay, why can't we do this or why can't we do that? And she would just not make the choices to do something for whatever reasons. I'm not judging it right now, but the whole thing is okay. I wish she could have this. Like I wanted her to be so happy. I wanted to have a good life and stuff like that. So now, if I'm giving it to any woman or if I'm giving it to any family, any man, that okay, if there's a man and he's unable to take care of his wife in a certain way, and if I can get to give him a tool saying, you know what, if you do this, your wife is going to be happy and you're going to have a happy life, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, that's like really
And
amazing about
that
it.
doesn't mean that I've not had breakdowns, or I don't fight with my husband, or I don't scream at my kid. I do. I mean, there are parts of me that I really get overwhelmed, and especially when I'm hungry or sleepy. If somebody is going to come and ask me something, I don't care who it is, I will just tell them, oh, yeah, you can go find yourself somewhere else, and I go back to sleep. Or if it is about food, unless I have food, I cannot talk sane. And that's something I know for sure. And earlier I would not be aware of it, now I am. So if I'm getting upset about something, I'll first check with myself, did I have enough sleep, did I have enough food? If not, I will go and have it. Earlier probably I would have just blasted off, or there's a lot of stuff that happened as a child that working through that took so many years, and I don't think it'll ever go away. But I think with every new day it can make it a little more easier.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's what, people who come to you, or the what you can offer to people from my perspective is this like, you're not one modality, like multiple modalities, and tuning in it to what they need, and plus your own intention, the place from you come. So how would you describe what you can offer to the world? Like, if people who all can come to Nivedita, who all
If
can come to
somebody
Taurus
wants to
Source?
just drastically change the way they want to choose life, I can help it. Anything. Like if I know something, I will share it. If I don't know something, I will learn and share it. And whether it is healing, whether it is management, whether it's business, whether it is art, anything. I mean, tomorrow it could be something else as well. There is so much to each life, and what we can contribute as individuals to some whole world is so different. Like if I, let's say for example, if I know how to make an app, and you know how to make an app, how you make an app is going to be so different from how I make an app. We cannot say, oh, she knows, I will not step into her market space and I will do something else. No, it doesn't work that way. It is not about the competition, or it is not about how many people are doing something. When you know how to do something, you have no choice but to contribute to the whole universe of molecules, because you are part of it. If you separate yourself from that space, then you are separating yourself from that space. That's my way of saying that we are here to do something all the time.
Makes
If we are
sense.
still alive, it means we are here to contribute.
Yep,
Otherwise we would have been dead by now.
totally agree on that. So let's say somebody who sees this and goes to Taurus Source, the website, what can they find on Taurus Source?
Taurus Source right now is open to individuals. It is individual. One second. So in Taurus Source, you can find work with therapy, whether it is access consciousness, Reiki, alternate methods, art, any other new methodology I might learn in the whole process. If there is any support that you require about digital space, like websites or design, or it doesn't matter, even if you have a different team, there are some people who are afraid to even talk technology. I mean, you would like to have a website, and there must be a team that you have which can be doing it. And sometimes that what the team is talking is something you will not understand, or what you are talking is what the team doesn't understand. So I can be the intermediary. I can be the translator. I like business. I like money. I like children, especially not when I'm hungry or sleepy.
We got that covered. We shall first check with Nivedita. Are you fed? Are you slept well? Have you slept? Okay, then I'm coming to meet you.
Yeah. So I think it's important for the self care to happen. That's what I'm saying at the
Yep.
end of the day. When self care is there, you are able to care for somebody else as well.
No, it's. I also totally agree. Like the logic, like the lifeguard, right? Unless the lifeguard is safe, you can't save anybody. Like you can't be at risk and be a lifeguard or
Yeah.
go
If you
out and
really want
save.
to contribute, the first thing is you need to take care of yourself enough
Yes.
that you are in a good space, that you can share that space. If you're in a bad space, you will also contribute, be a contribution to sharing that bad space.
Yeah. True. True. No, I totally agree on that.
So we can
And
do something constructively, or even if we are doing something destructive, we should know and acknowledge that we are doing it for the purpose of destruction.
destruction. No, it's like of self-awareness, being complete or whole is very critical. I think also how good the quality of contribution is going to be.
I don't know if you know this, that I do ketchups, which are
Yeah, non-organic ketchup, no
Yeah, so I
chemicals.
take all the organic ingredients of the dates and stuff, and there's no sugar or preservatives in the ketchup that I do. Or I like cooking also. So there was a time when I did this for a year and two that I would made for each order, like made for each other. So everybody would order a specific thing. So there are times when people have asked for noodle cakes and stuff like that. So it's like when
So
somebody
that's
does,
also on Taurus Store. So if you want to use you as for a
yeah,
bespoke
I
dish,
can,
we can reach out to you.
yeah, I can curate something for you. Like if you have an evening going on and you have no idea what to go about with the menu, I think just with me and a helper, I think I can cook for 40
Yeah,
people.
I know I can witness to that one. And also Taurus stores, you also, apart from individuals, you also do corporate, other
Yeah,
kind of stuff,
sometimes
right?
so far I've not approached people really in that sense. Somehow through networking or meeting people, it's word of mouth. There were a few organizations that wanted to have some work with me. So we did a few sessions. Like I think when I look back at, I was writing my CV one day and I was like, oh, I did so much work with the corporate. I mean, I didn't realize it. Like I didn't put it down on paper that I just kept doing the work. There was some work done in the corporate as well. Now I'm actually ready and functional to say, okay, I would like to spend more hours because my kids also are a little more grown up. And I would like to spend more time because there is something in the organizations or people that you can actually work with. When I was in human resources, I thought I did it all. Then now I realize, oh, there is so much more to offer from the same angle of engagement or people or how you can create things and how you can run businesses, and whether it is marketing or whether it is development and creativity, there is another angle to it which can be explored. So
Yeah, I totally agree. Can I just get a moment? Sorry, you can
yeah,
pause.
yeah, yeah.
Great. So yeah, I think that's like, corporates do. I've seen you work with corporates, so I'm sure that's a whole new space you can explore.
There
And
was Sri Vidya School, which is special needs that I worked with. There was Ola Cabs that had a foundation event for their drivers. Then Deloitte had a program, and I think even Cognizant had invited for a talk about parenting and stuff like that. So yeah,
yeah,
I've even painted a hospital, a birthing
wow.
center. Uh, yeah, but they now moved the place. We did belly painting for pregnant mothers. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so all this is something when people go to Taurus, so they can.
Yeah, anything at all. It's Taurus and source. The source means source will have anything and everything. It doesn't have to reflect in the website, or it shouldn't be something that people will say, okay, it doesn't show in the website. Do I ask her? You can just ask, and maybe a new vertical will be formed because you asked.
Maybe. Yeah, all the
A
best
new
for
line
that.
of business might come into action because you
Yes.
asked.
Yes, totally agree. You touched a little bit about parenting. So I know you're into a lot of conscious parenting. So do you want to talk about parenting, your style? What is conscious parenting? And what can you contribute in that space? Like what can
I
people
try
reach
to be
out to?
as conscious as I can, although even I have points where I do break down or I say, okay, this is not working for me, or the language that I use, like especially with Vidur or something. Okay, earlier, as I grew, I think now I'm in a better space to talk about really consciousness. Between me and my husband, Inder, we talk about, okay, I think we're talking to our kid like this. I don't think this is okay or this is not okay. It's not like we don't slip up. We do slip up because we have the programming of many years and I think generations running in our blood. But at the same time, there is this idea that there is a sense of freedom that a child should have with curiosity. And even we are talking about survival and talking about.
Hey, you're there. Did I lose you?
No, no, I'm there. So we're talking about exploration. So we're talking about exploration and we're talking about learning and we're trying to figure out, okay, what is doable, what is not doable, what is negotiable, what's non-negotiable, okay, what can we do? That what is working for me, what is not working for me. So when I have a conversation with Vidur, it's going to be like, okay, Vidur, this is not working for me. It's not like you can't do it, you shouldn't do it. We're not using the word should or can't. We're talking about what is working or what is not working. It is not like he cannot do that with somebody else. It is okay, absolutely. So coming from a space of trying to be an empowered parent so that they can be an empowered child who will choose differently and who will have the independence of choosing their life.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah,
there.
I know. Yeah, I know. I mean, I also like, I'm a, I think one of the things we first initially bonded was on the parenting style and how like like we wanted to be at least explore, learn about what are the different ways of parenting and things like that, and treating the child as also a young adult, like, the child also has opinion. And I think, yeah, you're right. Like the more conscious you are, the more happy you are, the more complete you are, the better you are going to be at
I
parenting.
think Inder is more patient with Vidur than I am, or I have been. I wouldn't say I regret the whole journey of it, but I think I've a lot learned from him, in the sense that he worked in a school and they facilitate their kids, and there's a lot of things that they do in school that he would come and share. And we would say, okay, there's a lot going on in Vidur school that we'd like to learn in parent teacher meetings. And we'd like, okay, can we do this? Can we do this? We are definitely sure about what we took from our parents and what we didn't really like in the way we were treated maybe as kids in some ways, not making them wrong for it. They did the best they can at that point of time. But there were some things as children, you're like, oh, although they were doing it for our good, I don't think I like it. Like, I don't like forcing kids to wear some clothes which they don't like. Which means sometimes I do feel bad that there are clothes lying there that are not being worn. But I also understand that I went through a childhood where I was forced upon weird kind of clothes and I was made to walk on the road and I would feel so awkward. So I obviously am coming from a space of, okay, I just got done with me, so I will not do it. But if I actually look at, it's not about me, or it's the life of the child is not the same as mine, it's a different one. How
Yeah.
can I now treat this? Then I get an awareness of how it is done.
Yeah. So do you also do work around conscious parenting? Do you help parents out? Is that also something Taurus Source offers or you offer as a service?
I would initially I would work with storytelling, or see, you can tell kids a lot. I feel parents, there's already a lot of programming. Unless a person really chooses to get into something like that, I feel there's no point talking to someone unless they are choosing it. So when somebody is really choosing and saying, okay, I'd like to deal with my child and I don't like the way I'm dealing with it and I'd like to do something else, then yes, there can be some work done. And it's on a community basis. We have a community kind of a thing which we can work with and then uh, do the work.
You have done this work before, right? Around this one. So do you want to talk a little bit what you have done or who can reach out to you for what kind of?
When Vidur was very young, we had like the hospital that we gave birth in had something called a breastfeeding network. So all the mothers would catch up and we would be on the Facebook group and we would chat up and all, and it gave me an idea that okay, if there are anybody looking for and support during the postpartum, or during the, if they have one child or two children, what can be done, and just have their back, and say, you know what, it's okay, I mean, you can choose this or this or this, have that information flowing through each other. That's the kind of work. And sometimes people do come in for sessions for treating depression or working with their children. And sometimes the children, they say, have issues, but actually it's the parents who have issues. So we have a conversation around that. So there are energy work and art classes that we do with children, that if you actually work with that, then there is a different bonding that happens with the parent and child. There are artist dates which I do with the parent and family and the child, that it's not a specific drawing that we make, but we make something that they can take back and remember that moment. Even if something is happening in the house, if they look at that artwork, they should know that there can be something else that can get created.
Yep. Amazing. Yeah. So I think it's been like like I said, like when I met you, I didn't know it was like almost like stalking and asking you for a date, but we I learned so much. Not only you're a great friend to me, but through you I met wonderful people, and like I said, you don't hesitate to contribute. So whenever I had I had anything I wanted, you would openly, freely contribute. And I've seen you do that for my other friends. I've seen you being part of your many groups, and the energy you put in is amazing. And apart from that all, like we did briefly touch upon the fact that you're an amazing cook. I know I started loving Japanese and Japanese food, and you came to my birthday and you cooked the entire Japanese meal. We cooked actually sushi and it came out fantastically well. So I think you are the way you live your life, like with that eagerness, with that energy, and whoever comes in touch with you definitely gets benefited. It's always for me, it's been a very positive experience. And I think it's one of my very adult and mature relationships or friendship, because I accept you as you are. I mean, it's not that I like you 100%, but what I don't, or what it's like very mature. And
There is an allowance for our
yeah.
fallacies.
And you've told me things very bluntly, which I might not normally would have, oh, you can't talk to me like that, you're my friend. But then I also done that to you. So I think it's been a very fabulous,
It's
mature
been very
journey.
freeing, actually.
Yeah, and we both may not do a lot of things together. We may not talk. I may not talk to you as much as I talk to my other friends. But there's some sort of a fabulous bond that you and I have, and I find you to be a very amazing person. And because of all that, like, it's only not my opinion. We have few other people who share similar opinion about you. So I've invited a few of our friends to come and share what they think about you. Like, I know your contributions are like a lot of people lives have been touched by you and the way you contribute. So I don't know, I think they're slowly joining in. I see Pallavi maybe be the first person to come in. Let's Pallavi, you're there.
Hi, Sydney.
Hello!
Hi, surprise.
Surprise!
We have few more joining in. I think they will get everybody coming in slowly.
You have the
So
universe behind you. Oh wow.
We had a brilliant conversation.
yeah, it's been really good. So we have Pallavi in your better half, or
Husband.
just the other half is,
Yeah,
and
he's always the better half. That's true.
because I wanted to introduce, like, I'm bringing on all my girlfriends, like, Indrajit is also a girlfriend of mine. So I'm bringing all my girlfriends on to, like,
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
And then we have Shobha. We spoke about Shobha. So we all wanted to just share, like, what an amazing person you are. You all touched.
Sorry for my bad background again.
It's okay. Come as you are, as you want.
You're all so nicely done.
So yes, so
Universe behind you. So.
yes.
It's like a birthday treat, huh?
It's like a birthday treat. It's like you being such a fabulous treat for all of us. So we just wanted to share. So I don't know who wants to go first.
You're looking like you're somewhere out there in the Milky Way.
Yeah. So Vidur and I set up this background.
Yeah.
And now he went and joined Inder over there.
Nice. Yeah, you are, I think, in the right place where you should be, out there. Beyond everybody's reach. We are all trying to catch up. Play
Great.
catch up.
So who wants to go first? The better half?
Me? What do I say?
I told you what you have to say.
You told him what to say.
No. I just gave him
Has
the gist.
scripts. What do you think Pallavi has been doing? She gave us scripts.
No.
Yeah, he's like, what do I say? If I say something wrong, I'm not going to get
No,
Speak from your heart, Inder. Speak from your heart.
He has been traumatized enough in the first few years. The 7-year itch is over now. I think life begins.
Yes.
The 7-year itch is very important, but for life to begin. So without that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been scratching up 7 years.
yeah, only
So
after
we are
you
actually a
scratch,
very
the
good
real stuff comes
combination.
out.
I speak, he listens.
I wonder why.
What is the one thing that you don't want to speak about? Speak about that.
Yes.
Yes, go on record.
Secret that we No one knows.
Tell us one thing about maybe none of us know. Only you know.
She likes mushrooms.
I think that's
The
common
edible
knowledge.
kind, the non-hallucinogenic kind.
Yeah, I was like, the way he said
Yeah, let's be very
Good you
specific.
specified, yeah.
Yeah, good you specified because she's already in a different levitation from others. So great. So what else, Inda? What do you like about your wife? Do you like your wife?
And what you don't like also.
Do you like at least let's confirm that. Do you like your wife? If yes, what do you like about your wife?
Good question.
At the
Actually,
beginning.
liking is very difficult, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Love is there, but like is a
Yeah,
difficult question.
Yeah, if you don't like her, it's okay. We'll take her.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't like my wife. I just love my wife.
Vidur is feeling
No,
shy.
I think he's worried he won't get his dinner.
She's reading.
Yeah, I think if we stop talking, he can talk.
Oh no, it's okay. You guys can carry on.
Happy to let everyone.
So what do you like
Yeah, I
about
have a
Vidur, you want to say something?
Who? Vidur?
Vidu, do you want to say something about your mama?
Mother's Day today. It is Mother's Day, right?
Yes.
Me.
He's shy.
Mothers
Yeah.
and mothers to be day.
Yes.
Mother to be. Maybe.
Yep. So Inda, you gotta say something. Say.
Great mom and great wife.
That we know.
Yeah, that we
That's-
already
Yeah,
know.
that we know.
That's something we don't know.
You like snowy.
Like noise.
No, I like Snowy. I like Tintin and Snowy.
Snowy.
Ah, okay.
Snowy. Okay.
Asterix and Obelix. Chacha Chowdhury. All my favorite cartoons, I think I've introduced.
Great.
Okay, I think I will
Something about Nivi that you don't know. Have you guys ever
I'll
seen
say
her?
something that he really doesn't like, which I did. I taught my son how to dig his nose, and he actually improvised it by putting it in his mouth.
That is what you don't like about your wife. She teaches weird stuff to your son.
Yeah.
Nobody will like that.
I prank a lot, which he doesn't like.
What?
Oh, you don't like pranks.
He doesn't like, and I cannot help. When I see him, I feel like pranking him. Like,
Now we know what we're gonna do for your birthday. Be prepared, okay?
Childish stuff.
he finds pranking very childish.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I think there is a lot of potential in pranking. April 1st is the best day in my life. I look forward to April 1st.
I shall agree with Inder on that.
you also don't.
He doesn't like surprises, I do. So I surprise him and everybody else, and sometimes he's shocked
You
because
also know what for
Like
you
I
never
agree.
prankster.
And childish. I don't mind them, but I agree that he is that.
True. Sony, what do you have to say about your sister?
I have to say about it. Like, okay, one of the things, have you guys ever seen her with long hair? Like, she had very long hair. No,
Very long
one-
as in?
no, only
Very
I
I
have
long.
seen me with only with
Long.
medium hair.
You mean the ghost movie kind of long hair, is it?
Yeah, you never saw me with that.
Yeah.
I used to have
Right.
knee-length hair.
What kind
I
of
still
long hair?
remember that when you're saying ghost movie, right? Once they
A
had
ghost
come
movie.
home and it was raining, and then she opened her hair and it's like they were like taking two towels and
Background music and
drying out her hair. So yeah,
why are you going to show us a picture of that or what?
sure. I will check out a picture. I think I have one.
I thought you were showing a picture, that's why you asked.
Yeah, see, I know her from like, I mean, it feels like such a long time. So, about
I used to always wonder why she's living in her house and not in my house. At least as a growing kid, whenever I used to come, to your place, I want to take her away with me. That's how it's always been. I never told her that. I never told a lot of things as a child. And so one of them is that.
No, as a child, so also, so we used to come to Tirupati in December and you guys to go in summer. So there's always these stories about how, it's like, so the three sisters, like, did a play. Nivi wrote a story. So it was always like Nivi wrote a story and then they all did a play. Nivi choreographed a dance and then, all of them danced and then they put up like thing in the house. And I remember Sujana and all used to also show me some pictures and all, and I used to be so fascinated by that. Wow, she's so cool. It's like, I used to like that kind of stuff too. So before I even saw you guys and met you guys, this is the first thing, even when I was thinking, it was like, what was it? Like the first thing I remembered was, it was like how much I had heard about you before even I saw you first. And it was all of this stuff, and it was like, I was like, she's like so cool, she's so different. And
The voice is going off suddenly.
Pardon me?
Volume is
Maybe you
low.
got to come closer.
Volume is low.
I think when you get engrossed in the story, your thing goes off.
Yeah, then I guess it's like
Yeah, the volumes are also going
lower.
up and down. And
So another thing that remember you used to go to Vizag to practice. Was it Kuchipudi or Bharatanatyam?
Yeah. Kuchipudi.
Kuchipudi, right?
So
And
Monday to Friday it was work and Saturday, Sunday it was dance.
Yeah, you should take a train and go practice and then, come back. And Buddy was like, what is she doing? She's going every weekend. Like Sujana would be like, she's going, she gets so tired and this, that. And for me, it was like, this is something also I don't think the whole long hair story is like reminding me of this. I used to be like, she's like, she's going and dancing. So that was around my engineering college time. So, there was this thing that I didn't want to do engineering. I wanted to put on. So I was like, somebody in the house is doing something artistic. And I was like, oh, wow, that is so cool. She's working and, she's like doing something so beautiful. So,
As a child, I always wanted to dance. Mom said, no dance, you learn Veena. I said, I learn Veena if you let me dance.
Learn what?
You learned Veena also.
So I learned Veena because that will give me scope to go and dance. And there was a lot of break in the whole dancing learning. So when that teacher offered me that I will put you on stage for this whole ballet, I'm like, okay, I will do anything because unless you do Arangetram, you're not supposed to go on stage.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, I've seen you. I know you can't go through the entire phase like the regular way. You need a shortcut. And I know that you will be part of that the way it is. So you can practice on your own, and on weekends you come and you choreograph with the team and look at your own spot, right? So we would coordinate during the weekends practice and go back and practice the movements. So that was what was happening. I didn't tell them that I broke my leg because they'll not put me on stage.
Yeah, you had a thing with the bone of your toe.
I broke my metatarsals. I didn't tell them.
Yeah.
If I tell them, they'll take me off the thing. So I didn't tell them. I finished the program and then told.
Whatever it takes, right, Nivi?
So that's what, that's like all of these things are what's like so amazing about you. It's like, I think, so when I think of, it's the uniqueness, like since the time I was growing up, it was like, there was someone who was very unique, artistic in the family, and that's what I associated you always with. It was like, you were, mom's side, there were a few people, but dad's side, you were the only one I knew who was like, who was like that, and who was like so different. And that's something it's always been like in awe, like, oh, how she does this and she does that, which is like, interesting.
One thing mom used to say, like, if I tell you can't do this or you are this, you will prove to everybody you're that. So she told, you're a mad person. I said, okay, I'll prove to the entire world I'm mad. It's okay. So that was also part of that madness.
Yeah, you proved that. You still are proving that. No, it's
Inder is bearing the brunt of that mostly.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I doubt how he survived also. Just because probably he's been practicing his martial arts and has some
He's
centering
got
Tai
gray.
Chi.
He's
Maybe
got gray hair to show for it.
You just need to press the whole time the whole thing.
Shova, what do you have to say?
I have a question. I don't know if you covered it in the interview or not.
I just press this one.
But yeah, the question I wanted was how, what drives you, in the sense that's.
I covered, but you can answer to our question also.
There's a sub question or a separate question also, whether they're connected or not, I don't know. The other question is what are you, the way I see you, you're not afraid of anything in terms of being or doing or speaking or taking action or doing whatever takes your fancy or whatever. So, but it's more related to other people. So when you're talking to other people or interacting with other people, are you not afraid ever of what they'll think?
No.
And why?
I
Because
mean,
that's,
as a kid, I've always been told that, you never listen. I'm like, yeah, okay, good. You anyway know that I never listen, so might as well not listen and do whatever. So, yeah. And
so
also,
how do you deal
unleashing
with the judgment or whatever that is inevitable?
it doesn't, I don't understand it, first of all. If you're judging, I would get it.
Yeah. So how do you get there? Because that'll be a key to a lot of people's happiness.
Yeah, like if I like doing something, I'll just do it. Okay, I'll just do it. And sometimes it has repercussions. Like, can I share in there?
Okay.
Okay, like
He's surrendered today.
like just before this
Madness.
3 o'clock, whatever, just before this, I just went to him. I played a prank on him, and he was like a little upset about it. I said, okay, I understood that he was upset. I came back. Will that stop me from not doing it again? No, it won't. Does he know that? I don't think so. But yeah, I will apologize for that moment, but I forget. Like, okay, that I apologize, that I won't do it again. But he's so cute, I feel like doing it again. Yeah, so most of the time, to answer your question, it's like, yeah, it's not like I'll force myself on somebody for somebody else's life, but as long as it's a choice of my life, I just do it. And if somebody has asked me, okay, what can I do to overcome this or do this, then I pitch in my word. As a kid, probably I would have interfered by saying, you should do this, and given advice. I don't do advice right now. But if somebody says, okay, what can be done to overcome this, I will go full on because it excites me. Okay, something new to do. So what all?
That is more when it is asked and you're giving it, that's different. But otherwise, I'm saying generally about how you are or what you say or what you do when other people are there or where other people are concerned.
I think I developed a thick skin over a period of time, which I don't realize and I've never acknowledged. And that is one. And second, if I feel, okay, they said something which is upsetting probably, I will say, okay, oh, that's up to them. I will sometimes feel upset, but that's my upset, so I'll deal with it. But that will not stop me from doing it again, if I have to.
Yeah, and you also spoke a little bit during the interview around it, like how that you have to get the doctor. No matter what happens, the doctor has to be brought in.
Yeah, no matter what. Like when I was 3, like mom said, no, go get the doctor. That has been like a very pivotal character in my character, that you have to go and get it done. There's no other option. That is the only option. That's the deliverable.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So that was the question. Like you get something in your mind and you just follow it up.
Yeah.
It's not like the 100 other steps that go in my mind, for example, and a lot of other people's between the idea and the execution. I
don't have to know something to want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have to really know. Like if you tell me today, okay, let's go and go do a rocket launch. I may not know anything about rocket launch, but if you have a deliverable and a deadline,
D.
there's something called backward engineering. Okay, if that is the time you want to deliver it, okay, what is the back step?
D.
And what is the action I have to take today to get it done that day? It's like if you say you want it, or if I say, okay, I want it at any cost, it is a deep desire that says, okay, I'd really like it. Obviously, they will not be. If I ask somebody, oh, can you get me this or can you get me that? I don't think I've had people who say,
Yeah, but that is D.
So, if I want something really and
need to go there.
no dependence,
No, that's what I know you are like that. So my question is,
First
what's
left.
the secret?
Slight bend in
secret
the
is
road.
not caring a hoot about another
Right.
person's.
How is that
Another right turn.
possible?
Now another right turn.
Well, Access says interesting point of view.
No shot.
First
Yeah,
left.
but even
Why-
before
why-
access, I think you were like that too.
Left
To
to the
a
I
lot.
think
Bending road.
somewhere it's about fear of losing people and
D.
fear of not. Like, what's the max that will happen? You lose that relationship.
Go here, go here, go here, go here.
But
I
it's
also
it's not more than that, right? I mean, if they have to stay in your life, they will stay in your life no matter what, and you have to trust that.
See sector.
Hmm.
And if they're gone and they're not going to be part of your life, then maybe it's good riddance of bad rubbish.
Yeah. So the intellectual understanding is there.
so Shobha, maybe I mean when I questioned her
How
on this,
did you
what
become that?
I
How
got
powerful
from so like what I got from her answers was that I think that her mother, like she even thanked her, acknowledged her mother, like that was the driving force, like to go get it. The doctor has to come, he has to come. So I think that's how
I think
she kind of
just
looks at it.
focuses on just do it. Kind of
Yeah, just
thing.
do it.
Always.
Like it has to be done. I don't know how. She
No
was
time
3 or
to think
4.
also.
This
No
Right,
time
so
to
no
think,
time to
just do it.
think or impossible or illogical.
Impossible is I am possible.
Yeah, so just go get it done, and she goes and
So
just
you
gets it
lived
done.
that
Yeah.
all along, I guess. So
Yeah.
you don't know any other way.
Yeah.
So if you had to stop to
I
think, that
can't,
would be you have
I
to
don't
go.
understand some words like impossible, can't, fear. I do have fears. I'm not saying I don't, but it's just that if I have fear, I'll say, okay, I'm very scared.
Wait a minute.
I'm shameless enough to still jump.
Hmm. Fearless enough.
Fearless.
Fearless.
Yeah.
You're a hunter wali, maybe.
Yeah, there was a t-shirt I gifted this man, Hunter and the Hunted. I think the message phased, but the t-shirt is there. So we wonder who's hunted and who's hunted. Now that you bring that topic up.
Right. So yeah, does anybody else have anything, any questions for Nivi?
Yeah, the dog does.
I think my dog has a question for you.
Don't
She wants to say, also Tangam is also saying that she loves you.
Yes.
Great. So yeah, so it's been a great conversation with you, Nivi. You are an amazing person. We all love
Thank you
you
so
the
much
way
for
you
the
are. More
surprise.
power to you. More power to Endeavors. And go rock on for you.
Recently, I saw something called Becoming.
Saw that?
Obama. So yeah, so in that there was one lady wearing a T-shirt which said POWHERFULL. Powerful.
Draw the outline.
So I
Didn't get
think
that.
POWHERFULL.
Powerful, huh?
Black white as large. You don't need black.
So
You can do it.
all I have to say is thank you so much. I'm grateful for all of you and whatever I've learned with your presence.
We are totally grateful to have you in our lives.
And may you bear with
And like I
me
said,
Put the
more years. Well, the tractor didn't manage to get me, so you're
That
like,
time initially with unpredictability, which I was not used to. So in general, as a trait, I was more into predictable, consistent, safe kind of things. I think it showed me that it's possible to exist in a different realm other than that one. and it took me a while to get used to it.
I've always had such an amazing time with her, and also like I think she's one person in the family who really makes me feel so pampered. I mean, she's pampered me with her love, but she's also pampered. She'll do these absolutely spontaneous things and like send stuff, like just like order something like I like on Swiggy. There's always falafel for me at home when I go to her house. So I mean, she just indulges me so much with her love that I'm so grateful. So grateful to her for that. Thank you for being that person. That's something about you that I value the most.
Thank you.
Close with you. Last words go for you. We save the last words for you, Inder. Parting words. Close it off, Inder. For a message to your wife. You're hearing me, Inder, or are you pretending not to hear? Yeah, close it.
Or you can go
The
into her
shower.
room. Or you can go into her room
Go and give her a kiss on her.
and into her space, literally.
Yeah, actually, I want to stand in the background and see how it looks.
Go.
Go. And you can plant a kiss on her
Kiss in the
forehead and we'll
background.
close the interview there.
And is giving direction where to plant the kiss also.
We don't know. This is a general Reggie video, so I don't
You can
know.
always edit it. Please edit out my background.
You'll have to log out.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you guys look so
You're
amazing
in
together.
space now with your dog.
Whole
Picture
family
of
is
that
there.
and frame
You
it.
take a screenshot of this
Yeah.
one. It looks so nice.
You're all in space, some other galaxy.
Yeah, you guys are not from Earth.
Aliens.
Here, talk to you like this.
It echoes good, huh?
Like this. Spock.
Not very clear.
Lightning behind you all, or what?
What?
You know, for a second I thought on my screen it felt like there was lightning behind you all. It's like, oh, this is just
This is perfect, Nivi. You always hope stay this happy, this energetic, this blessed. Take care, Nivi. All the
Thank
very
you,
best
thank
to you and your family. Love you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
for
Thank you
all that
all.
you are and all that you do for us.
And all that you can be. More power to you, girl. Bye.